straight from the realm of all things gaming. Everything Noob starts now.
Episode 127, the Everything Noob podcast. I'm Vortak, joined as always by Miss Jemmy and Mr. Dreadlow. Hello.
Hello.
We are YouTubers and streamers and gamers of sorts, and every week we do this fancy podcast where we talk about video games and we pick a theme. This week, Steam and Grand Theft Auto 5. Lots of awesome stuff to talk about. And hopefully you were here for the pre-show. If not, we did a quick pre-show an hour before we went live tonight on twitch.tv/enoobs. I don't know if it's going to become a usual thing. It's just the stars kind of aligned on that one. But we're hoping to do more stuff like that. So we'll definitely keep you in the loop as we, figure that out. So last week we didn't do a show. Sorry about that. We were all having technical difficulties, and it was a slow news week, honestly. I don't know about you guys, but it was slow.
Yeah.
It's been real slow.
It's going to be slow because E3 in June.
Yeah, we've been through this a couple times now. So, fantastic.
Every year. It's like gets you by surprise. The slow news cycle.
Yeah. Well, one thing we mentioned not that long ago was that Steam was going to be doing some improvements in terms of like customer service. We had a whole episode about that, how their customer service was utter crap.
Yep.
And they were getting beat by companies such as EA.
Which makes no sense, but okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is a result of one of those changes, but they are now making it easier to avoid phishing scams by making it so you can only participate in the Steam community with a $5 purchase at least. You have to have at least spent $5 in Steam before all those features are unlocked to you.
Yeah, we're talking a whole grip of features, too, that most people rely on. Sending friend invites to the games, opening group chat, voting on green light, Steam reviews and workshop items, participating in Steam Market, posting frequently in Steam discussions, gaining Steam profile levels, locked to level 0, and then no trading cards, submitting content to Steam Workshop, posting in an items Steam Workshop discussions, accessing the Steam Web API, and using browser and mobile chat. I mean, that's a lot of things.
That's going to require people to spend money in order to do their normal phishing activities, but what I worry about is $5 enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of people complaining, think it should be at least $20.
Well, it depends. When these people are phishing, what are they doing with the accounts that they fish and get? Like, are they just enjoying some free games? Or are they selling these accounts to other people and earning money? If they're earning money off of these, then no, $5 is not enough.
For me, I think it's more of the nagging, with invites. Not just the invites that you get, friend invites and stuff. I mean, you look at their profiles and they have 0 score. Their thing is set to private. They have a whole grip of aliases though, which is really bizarre. And and they want you to be their friend so that they can spam you and send you messages. And I got mine set to where only friends can send me messages. So, if they need to contact me, they can contact me through my website. But yeah, I mean, we get stuff like that all the time, and it's kind of irritating. If you accept, of course, you're going to get spammed with all kinds of links to, cheats and, buy in-game currency, stuff like that.
Well, that's how they steal your password, too.
Yeah, and then they also get in there and they can,
Yeah, essentially it gives you a Trojan, and they have to change all your passwords and probably do a virus scan, make sure you don't have any Trojans or keyloggers. It's a big, big, nasty mess.
Yep.
So,
and that if somebody is willing to spend, that's why I'm kind of like, should it be more? I'm thinking the same thing, because $5, I mean, if a spammer is making some good money off of Steam accounts, what's $5 to him? He'll
not much.
It's just an account.
If they're willing to gill spam for $14 plus the purchase of the game, or gold spam or whatever shout in any MMO.
Heck,
$5 is
all they
nothing.
have to do is buy Left 4 Dead 2. You know, everybody wants Left 4 Dead 2. Just buy that, and then boom, they've made their $5 limit, because I think Left 4 Dead 2 is like $9.99 or something like that, right? It's
No,
really low.
they'll find some $5 game or $5.99, whatever the lowest bar is to spend
Right.
$5.
And then once
I feel sorry for whatever game that is, though, because they're going to see a spike in sales.
I mean, I think a $5. Okay. How about also activity? Like if you spend
Yeah.
$5 in a game and then you're not on it for, then how about activity? Like constantly playing the game, hours of play or whatever. Maybe that. Now it does say here, anybody who's got a lot of games already, obviously they're exempt from this because they've already made their $5 purchases. But like this guy here, he had like over 200 games, so he's in the clear. But
Maybe he was gifted all 200 and it was a concern for him because he's like, well, I've never actually spent money on it.
yeah, this also forces people to buy from Steam, because if you buy a DVDs for a game, like say at GameStop, and then you enter the code in, it doesn't count towards that $5 purchase. So it has to be purchased from Steam.
I guess that's not too surprising.
And you could put. I was gonna say you could put $10 in your wallet and you're good to go.
Yeah. I like the idea of making the person become active, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, because if you let them do things like prove their activity by leaving comments, then they can do phishing scams. But if you do the proof by making them not only buy the games but play them for like a couple hours. Now, what I've learned about Steam is that if you turn on a game and you walk away from the computer while it's on the startup screen, that counts towards your playtime.
Oh, yeah.
So
True.
you can't exactly expect that to be anything either. So no matter what, you're going to have your people fishing. I think they're going to get around
They
it.
could, for that activity of actual playtime in game, they
Achievements?
could. No, not. Well, they could do a number of achievements, but they could also activate and patch into Steam like an AFK kind of toggle, that if like you're just sitting on the start screen, your ticker, your clock is not going for your community activity usage. It is just sitting there. And then while you're currently active and not AFK and your computer's not idle, then it is running.
Yeah, that's what Hearthstone does when you're like, I walk away from the computer, got Hearthstone open, if I'm taking too long to fix up my food or whatever, I come back and they've disconnected me. So they don't let anybody just sit there.
Yeah. Well, along with trying to prevent, I guess, phishing and getting people's passwords, Steam also released the feature of an authenticator. So you have an extra level of security if you were having a lot of trouble with that before.
Yeah, right now it's in beta, so you have to sign up for it. But
I just never heard of people losing their Steam accounts and stuff. Like, so this is almost news to me. I mean, I don't doubt that it's not happening, but in my head, I'm just like, why?
yeah,
And
I haven't heard anything like that either.
I was like, I saw the authenticator thing, and I'm like, I really just absolutely, that's one more step of login I don't want to do.
But if somebody
Yeah, I
actually gets a
agree.
hold of your account
It's
and you've got 200 games, you've lost those games. I guess you can
That's
call
true.
them and try to prove to them that you're the person and it was hacked.
But like my account's set up that if I log in from another location that is not the location I've been logging into or a computer I've been logging in from, like the whole thing will shut down and wait for me to be like, yeah, that computer's okay.
Yeah, and they usually send you a code in an email. You have to go to the email, get the code, and enter it into the little pop-up that comes up when you try to log into Steam from another computer. So they've got
Exactly.
that safety feature there, but Authenticator sounds pretty cool. It's something
I
that
had that for WoW for a bit.
yeah, and now it's all mobilized. It's on your phone, so you don't have to buy a physical device.
Yeah, I actually had the app, and I used that because at the time I'm like, who's gonna do that? And then I got my account stolen. I'm like, oh. So I started using the authenticator, but it's frustrating. This little code changes every like 10 seconds, and if you don't, if you don't type it in fast enough or whatever, then you have to keep trying, and it's just annoying. I don't know. It's really a first world problem for sure. For something like Steam, I like what you said about 200 games and then you could lose them forever. That's a big deal. But I agree with Jemmy as well. Using an authenticator is very frustrating and almost unnecessary. However, with Steam, for me at least, I've had to change my password so many friggin' times that it's the hardest one to log into for me because I always forget what the password is.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what's so nice, I know that Battle.net does this now, but in the beginning it wasn't. You had to use Authenticator every time you logged in, no matter what. But now it recognizes your computer, and if it's your computer, then it usually bypasses that Authenticator for a certain length of time, and then once in a while it'll pop up to ask you for it. But I just put Hearthstone on my phone, and it recognized my authenticator on here and already took the number for me when I logged in.
Nice.
I didn't even have to enter it in because it automatically said, "Oh, we've captured your authenticator code already for you." Oh, thank you.
Wow.
And then I was just able to log right in.
Maybe that's a new. Okay, if you don't have to type
For
a
the
code,
phones anyway. I don't know about. Well, I don't know about computer, but you don't have the actual authenticator on your computer, so it has nothing to take it from. So you'd have to use your authenticator on your mobile unit to log in on a computer, but
you know what they could do is with smartphones have like a randomly generated scanner. Like, what are those codes called? Your computer takes a picture of that, and then it ships that picture of that and the like authenticator code through your phone, and then it's like, oh yeah, okay, you did it right now, so then you're in.
Oh yeah,
so
that would be
you don't
sweet.
have to type. So
With
it's
this
just
little
like
scanner, you just take a picture of your screen, with the camera, and then your camera will recognize it. And if you're logged into Steam on here, then it'll automatically authenticate for you. That'd be interesting. Who knows? I mean,
there's authenticators that are just USB dongles, and you just plug them in, and that's how you authenticate your account.
That would be nice too.
Yeah, but then if it's like a keychain, you're essentially carrying around your game on your person at all times. I feel like unless it's stayed in or near the computer at all times, you're just at risk of losing it, maybe, and that would suck.
That's totally fair too.
That extra level of security now became the most. It's like getting your game identity stolen, and you're trying to convince Blizzard, it's me. I lost the thing. I had the thing. I don't have the thing now. Can I get my game? Nah, the guy who really owns the account says you need the thing. Like, I'm the guy, and I don't have the thing, and I'm saying I don't need the thing now. Nope.
That's why they call it a dongle. No, it's kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is optional. It says right here, it's optional security measures. So I don't think it's something that's going to, we have to use.
Yeah, of course. They usually are. It's like you don't use at your own risk,
Right.
They will try to put you into using it. They'll strongly urge it and remind you constantly. It's like, well, I'm an authenticator on your account. Are you sure you want to leave yourself this unsecure?
Ugh, gosh. Yeah, Blizzard, I got rid of mine eventually. And Blizzard's like, get the authenticator. What are you doing, idiot?
You know what, though? I think for WoW and Blizzard, it is almost necessary with the amount of account theft and phishing and stuff that goes on WoW.
Right. They got people selling accounts.
That's true. I mean, people can't... I guess you could sell a Steam account on like some kind of internet black market, like Craigslist.
Yeah.
But I don't... But I think World of Warcraft accounts are more sellable.
Well, yeah, because you can't really get all that stuff somewhere else. Like, because you have to think about it. If you're selling a Steam account that has some rep and this, that, and the other on a black market, like, You could buy all those games during like the summer sale or whatever, probably for less than what you're buying like a full account for.
Yeah, and also the
So
fact that
why?
the possibility of losing that account because of an appeal from the actual owner of the account. I mean, it's not that hard
Exactly.
for them to verify who you are. They got your credit card information, they got all that stuff, so you can obviously.
The only thing I could see is they like to steal accounts because you've saved your credit card in there and then you're going to spam a bunch of gift purchases for somebody else.
That's a possibility too. They can actually use it to gift themselves games if they have an actual account.
That would
That's
suck.
also
Yeah.
that's
If your
a
wallet's
possibility
full.
too.
That, like, if they get an alert that's like, oh, this account was stolen on this time, and there's huge, like, backlog of now being charged back game purchases, they're gonna know, like, and they were all gifted to this account. Like, yeah, like, Steam can follow that paper trail.
There's also things like, for instance, certain games where you can transfer. Well, I don't. Yeah, you can transfer stuff to other players, like trading cards and things like that. Also, in Grand Theft Auto 5, which from what I understand, you can transfer your character, which
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's through
So, I
Rockstar
don't know.
Social Club.
But I think that's only your account. I don't think you can transfer it to a friend or anything.
No.
Yeah, so that would be kind of useless.
You log in with your Social Club account on Grand Theft Auto, and then it says, would you like to take this character from your old console to your new one? And,
Yeah.
yeah, I did it. I tried to do it with the PS3 to PS4, but I think I just decided to make a new character. And then I did it with the PS4 character to my PC.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool, but that's through Rockstar's own little social club thing, which
Yeah.
is a whole nother meh for me. But it's there and it works, and I got my character, so I can't complain too much. Rockstar.
Well, there you
Social
go.
Club. So yeah, I mean, speaking of GTA though, the other big Steam news and kind of leading into our GTA discussion is that they broke some records, from what I hear.
Oh, yeah.
Not surprising.
No,
Big records.
people have been waiting. I've been waiting for GTA PC since it came out on Xbox and PlayStation 3. I've been really upset at how long it took for it to come to PC, because all my friends play on PC. I kind of turned into a PC gamer. GTA 5 came out. I got it for PS3 because I knew it was going to take a while, and bastards made me buy it twice.
Wow.
They did it. Luckily,
They sure did.
Mojo had the PS4 copy, so I didn't have to buy that one. But
Well, one of the things I've noticed is there's a lot of people that, I mean, I've watched YouTube videos of different people that are out there making YouTube videos of all their games and stuff, and obviously they had the console version, but when the PC version came out, they said this is what I've been waiting for. So a lot of console users are happy to see it on PC. So that's a good thing. Usually when something goes to come from console to PC, the console users are like, yeah, they don't like it, you know?
yeah.
But,
Before I transitioned us too early. Before we get too far away from the internet security question, I wanted to pose a question to you, to both of you. Do you think, because we've been dealing with internet security issues now for a while, and everyone's been trying to figure out the next level of internet security, and I think I'm seeing more and more authenticators coming out for different games and different things. Do you think that the next big thing is going to be like a one-and-done authenticator where you plug in everything you need to authenticate into this one authenticator? Or do you think that'll be a step back in security because now we have like a server
Ooh.
full of...
well,
know what I mean?
actually, there's what they call Google Authenticator, and when you go on some of these, like a lot of these free-to-play MMOs and stuff, they use, some of them will allow you to use Google Authenticator, and what it is one authenticator for all your games. And so what it does is it's separate though, because there's links to each one. Like, okay, I want to play this game, so when I go to Google Authenticator, I click on that and it gives me a number. And so I've got like 3 games. Rift is on there. Or actually, no, Rift has their own authenticator now, but they started out with Google Authenticator. and so you're able to use one authenticator for all your games. But I don't know. That would.
In order for that to work, you'd have to have like a third-party security company who basically signed a contract with them to say that they are going to do everything they can to make their authenticator code as safe and secure, and then just sign everybody on. But I almost think that would be a bad idea because it's putting all your eggs in one basket for security. And because if they somehow crack your code for your authenticator with that one company, then they have everything you have.
They have all of them.
Exactly. And anything you have an authenticator on is something where it's like really, the risk of it getting stolen is pretty high.
Right.
Well, it was. Then you got an authenticator.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, the risk is very real if you don't have an authenticator.
Yeah. I envision, because they have authenticators that are like a USB dongle, and I envision people with like a dozen USB dongles eventually, each with its own, married to its own thing. And now people are bitching because I have all these stupid USB things because internet security is awful. And someone comes and swoops in and goes, hey.
What you could do is somebody could make a company where they make like a hub that you plug in all those dongles into, and it doesn't do any of the security or anything, but it just acts as a powered USB port that's specific for the security dongles, and it's very low power and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just a question I wanted to pose because that was my fear would be having like 100 apps on my phone, one authenticator for each thing I do, or 100 dongles on my desk because I have all these things that I need to keep secure. So, but it's definitely a cool innovation in internet security with how easy it is to steal passwords and things like that. So.
Yeah, I just have my little LastPass password database, and it's not safe if somebody was to steal my computer. That's for sure. Although you have to know the primary password to get into the password database, so there's no way anybody can actually access it unless they log into it.
Yeah, just levels of passwords and different security.
But if they go to a website and it needs a password and I've got it saved in there, they could just right-click on the box and automatically fill it in for them. So they could still log into stuff of mine if they steal my computer, but they can't access the database to actually get the password. So,
yeah. Well, anyway, going back to Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
You guys, I know Dreadlow has it on PC. I got it on PC, but Jemmy, you're still a console peasant.
Yeah, I can't do it. Not at $60. I already own 2 other copies of the game. And I'm really excited. You guys look like you're having a lot of fun. I want to have that kind of fun. But in the back of my head, I'm like, how long would we really play online together? Is that worth $60? And I'm like, knowing our habits, it's not enough. I don't think we would play it long enough to justify $60 for a third-time purchase. Or a third-time get, I should say, since I was gifted the other 2.
What's so cool, though, is the online doesn't necessarily have to be with your friends. You can go online. There could be 30 people already on in the what they call the lobby. It's not really a lobby.
But they'll all kill you. That's just the rule. It's unspoken rule.
But you can set yourself to passive, and then you can do races and things like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's I don't know.
It's cool, and yeah, of course, like any online game, you can make friends. But I see what you're saying. It poses an interesting argument because most other games don't get away with keeping the price tag of $60 for as long as GTA has been allowed to keep it. And because they've been so slow in the uptake for PS3, then a bunch of months later, PS4, and then even later, maybe a year, right? Something crazy
like that, yeah.
We got it on PC like just days ago, basically. That's, insane that it's still $60 when the game is this game coming up on 2 years now? I feel like we're getting there. I know it's over a year old.
I feel like it's either a year and a half or 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of, but it's one of those games that, like for instance,
They don't-
Skyrim is still going. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like one of those games that'll last forever.
They don't push out a new GTA every year. So that's not working, you know, on their side. That's good. But, you know, that's why the Assassin's Creed 4 is probably so much cheaper now than a Unity, because they push out one every frickin' year. But
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto takes a lot of time with their games. So Rockstar does.
Which-
So
Also, shame on them for like such huge spaces in between the games versions, because it's like you're not really working on like the next GTA, so it's not like you're sapped for resources and stuff. I mean, I'm sure they are working on the next one, but it's kind of like that. Just, you already have a long development cycle anyways. Pad it a little more and release them all closer together, because this is
Yeah.
a little insane.
it's very obvious to me that, I mean, you could say that they were trying to make improvements all you want, and you could say that it's not easy to port a game from console to PC, but
But they
it's
knew they were
very-
doing it from the start.
and it's very obvious to me that this was a ploy to keep the game's price at as $60 and see if it sells. And you know what? It did. And people bought the game multiple times. They probably made money. They probably made double the money they would have made if they just released it in one foul swoop, and everyone got to pick and choose which generation of console they wanted it on. And everyone would have, you know, picked. The PC gamers wouldn't have, you know, gotten the urge to buy it on console, because they're like, well, I'm a PC gamer and I want this game, and all my friends are on PC. Instead, they're like, oh, well, I have a PS3. I mean, I really like Grand Theft Auto. It's going to be God only knows when until it comes out on PC. So I'm just going to buy it, and maybe, you know, I'll just sell it. That was my mantra. Like, I'll just buy it and sell it when I'm done, and buy it on PC when it comes out. And it just took so long. I couldn't stream it.
took
I
way too
had the
long.
game. I couldn't play with any of my friends. I couldn't stream it because it was on my PS3, and I didn't have the hardware to do that. And it was frustrating. And now everyone's talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 again like it's this brand new game that just came out. And maybe to a lot of people it is a brand new game because they didn't have a console. But $60 for a game that's almost 2 years old.
I blame the new consoles for that, because you got to remember when Grand Theft Auto came out, it was just before PS4 and the Xbox One was to come out. So they wanted to release it for the 360, and they wanted to release it for PS3. But they also wanted to release it for the Xbox One and the PS4. So they were kind of in a pickle there. So they released it for the older consoles, then they released it for the newer consoles, and then we had to wait an additional however long for it to come out to PC. I think if it wasn't in the middle of that transition, I think we would have got it sooner.
Yeah. But, I mean, one thing Jemmy was saying before is, how long are we really going to be playing it online to justify $60? I'll tell you what, I got to play it so little on the console, the online version anyway. I beat the game on console and I was basically done after that. I didn't play online basically at all. And then we got it on PS4 and I played a little bit, but we got it when PS4 was having all kinds of trouble with their servers. So I took a couple days and then I'm like, now I'm playing this game. So I wasn't like as hard up to play Grand Theft Auto on PS4. Now that I've on PC, I feel like I'm actually getting the opportunity to enjoy the game I've always wanted to enjoy. And I'm just getting started. You know, I just feel like I'm getting started. It came fresh with heists too, which took forever for them to add.
Right, and I think they were waiting to release PC edition. And actually, as a matter of fact, I think I remember seeing that, waiting for PC, getting ready to launch the PC before they came out with the heists. But another thing too that I was thinking about was, with the PC version, I don't know if it is with consoles. I mean, you might be able to tell me, but the GTA 5 editor, is that in the consoles?
No.
Okay, well, this is
the movie thing, right? The
yeah,
recording.
this thing is awesome. I mean, I've already seen some movies that people have made, and it's incredible. I don't know. I don't know if you can make maps with it. No, probably not. Maybe.
It sounds like just a video recorder built into the game that you can use to edit as well. So
it's just amazing.
I haven't used it. I haven't seen anything of it. Like, what can you do with it?
I haven't gone into it either. I was just
But
wondering
you saw some videos with it, right?
Yeah, I saw some videos where people actually made movies and their mouths actually moving to their voice.
That's awesome.
And so they made movies and they go back and forth. So they made little storylines and stuff with it. That's awesome. I'm gonna try it.
That'd be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
And so you can I'm not sure if it's also a map editor. I'm not sure. I don't know how that works, but there's that feature in there that I think that people even after the fact you could still have fun with it. You could still do things with it. There's a lot of I don't know. I just think that GTA 5 is one of those infinite games that'll last as long as it can before a new version comes out, like GTA 6.
Yeah.
Because it's just one of those games. Now, GTA 4 was...
They have a history of that. Yep, they have a history of making every other Grand Theft Auto game good.
They're following the Microsoft model.
I mean, I was disappointed for the longest time with the franchise because I played the hell out of it, but I still was not 100% on board with San Andreas. I actually didn't really enjoy that one nearly as much as I've enjoyed 5.
Yeah, 5 is incredible.
San Andreas did a bunch of things I didn't like. Like, they had this massive map, but the map wasn't fun massive. It was massive stupid, like... if you wanted to go between the places, there's this desert. You always find yourself driving in this desert, and it takes forever to get from one city to the other.
Sounds like you were talking about 5.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, 5 is quick. I mean, and it just, I don't know, 5 just works fast. Like, the map looks big, and then you're like, oh my god, I gotta go all the way into Blaine County to do this mission. I'll just start driving. So you hit the marker and you go. It doesn't take nearly as long as San Andreas.
Well,
it's
I
big,
think also
but there's a lot to it.
San Andreas had a lot of not visually appealing, empty space in between, and that's why it made it feel longer. But really, my biggest issue with San Andreas was all the micromanaging with the gang wars. It really kind of bogged down the game, and it's like, I just kind of want to goof off. I don't want to get called constantly that I got to go manage some turf.
I didn't like that. I also didn't like how
the gang wars weren't even fun.
No.
Not only do I have to constantly do it, it's not even fun.
It's your favorite cousin.
Which one was first? No, wait. Was San Andreas after 4?
San Andreas was after Vice City.
And did they just sit down and have a meeting on what obnoxious feature that we have to micromanage constantly do we need to add to this version of the game?
Oh my god. Yeah, the working out in that game in San Andreas, I did not like. I thought it would be the coolest thing. Did not like it. I didn't like how I had to I had a gigapet basically for a Grand Theft Auto character.
I have to constantly work out or I'm going to get fat.
And it was 4 where they introduced the dating and stuff, right?
Yeah.
No, San Andreas had a little bit.
No.
Internet cafes and stuff?
I know 4 was really where the dating picked up, and they were constantly just calling you, please take me out.
Oh my gosh, the most desperate chicks.
I need to be the most desperate chicks, the most desperate friends. Everyone apparently has no other friends and nothing to do.
Yeah, and then the mob boss wants you to take his daughter somewhere, and then all she wants to do is fool around.
Vice City was the best experience I ever had in Grand Theft Auto up until 5.
Yeah, that was fun.
San Andreas was so to me that I would frequently go back to Vice City and play that, even though I had beaten it and played the hell out of it. San Andreas left that much of a bad taste in my mouth. And I loved that they added car customization to it. But if I'm not mistaken, they took it out of 4, right? I don't remember customizing a single car in Grand Theft Auto 4. Well,
all I know is there was a lot of linear stuff to it too, where you had to do these missions in consecutive. You did them in order, and when you're stuck in a mission, you can backtrack, but then you lose your progress. And anything you had, it was just really weird. There was a lot to it that.
It looks like car customization wasn't there. I just never really messed with it. Yeah, it was.
Because you didn't have to.
it wasn't fun. You know, I went from Vice City and San Andreas to Grand Theft Auto 4, and I couldn't even buy a house. Like, you have to earn all your places that you get to live, and you don't get garage parking. You get this awful little parallel park, and you get to park 2 cars. And then they always disappear. Like, it was the most unreliable system.
And then you squeeze a bike in there too.
Yeah, and then you can squeeze a bike.
Yeah.
Squeeze that bike in there. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to go save and then quit and then I'm going to come back tomorrow. And then you come back tomorrow and no car's there. And you're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I remember I got one of those cop car, like Dodge Charger looking cop cars. And I worked so hard to get this. I don't know why it was difficult for me, but it took me forever to get the car, get away from the cops, and then keep it. And I had it forever, and I would drive it around. That would be like my main go-to vehicle. And one day I get in, and I think I got into like a scuffle with this guy, and he like threw me out of the car and took it and drove off. Or a cop, I think, took it and drove. I think a cop arrested somebody actually using that cop car. Like, that's how glitched it was. The cop was like walking on the street. He caught a criminal and like did his thing, and then took my car. I'm like,
oh jeez,
no,
Aww.
it took so long. Come back. Something ridiculous happened. I don't know. 5 did it right. 5 went back. Like, 5 took everything that I loved about Vice City and the things that were cool about San Andreas, and the graphics of 4. The graphics of 4 were nice, and they enhanced those, and then they made the best game ever.
Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed too is because, I mean, way back when Grand Theft Auto first came out, it was like a top-down, very pixelated, weird game, right?
Yeah.
And it was about stealing cars and getting jobs from you know, these mob bosses and these gangsters who want you to go and get cars and guns and whatever. And they kind of went away from that, and they started introducing all this other stuff like, you know, dating.
Criminal
I mean,
simulation
one of the missions on freaking San Andreas, if I'm not mistaken, was you had to ride a bike. I mean, it was important that you rode a bike from one point to another point in order to complete the mission. And it was like, you know, stuff like that just didn't make sense. I feel like GTA 5 has really gone back to the whole purpose of the game. Grand Theft Auto is stealing cars and you know, with what is his name, Simeon or Simeon. He's always sending you on jobs to steal cars, and that's what I remember. GTA is what it was all about, was stealing cars.
It's online,
of course, there's all the other fun, huh?
There's like 2 different ways to play those missions online. Like, if you're bored and there's no one to play with, you can actually do those for him, and I think another character wants cars too. So they give you a list of cars, and you go and you find them and you steal them, and you can even there's one car called the Baller. It looks like a Range Rover. You steal that, and you can sell that just to the guy who customizes cars. You get $9,000. It's like the most valuable car you can steal and sell.
Wow.
And unfortunately, you have to wait, I think, an hour between car sales, which kind of sucks. But yeah, you get $9,000 for stealing those Ballers. And it's I don't know. It's fun to, like, you're driving around, you find a fancy car, you take it, and you're like, maybe you drive it somewhere. And you're like, I'm just gonna sell this, you know. I'm just gonna take some money. It's cool. Like, yeah, you're right. It feels like Grand Theft Auto now. It feels like going out, stealing cars, selling them for money or missions or whatever, what have you. And that heist feature, even in single player, that was a cool idea.
Oh yeah,
making it about a group of characters who get together and they want to do, you know, they want to work their way to their one final big score, you know.
So have you done an online heist yet?
Yes, only the first one. They actually go in like this linear order. And the first one you have to do, it's like an introductory heist, and you do it with 2 people. So Mojo and I did that. And now we're trying to get a group together to do like 2 through however many there are. I don't think there's a whole lot. I know the final one is the prison. There's a big prison heist.
Do you break people out, or
I think you steal prisoners and sell them as slaves.
What?
No, I don't really know. It might be a prison break heist. I have no idea. I don't want to look it up because I want to just experience it, you know, for myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I did one of them too, but it was because I got a phone call and I went for it and I didn't know what it was.
You had to have been with another person. You would remember if you did it.
Yeah.
It's called you rob a bank, basically. It's very... I don't care if I spoil it. It's like such a nothing heist. But the guy who's in single player actually meets you in the online mode and tells you, yeah, I have a job for you.
Lester?
Yeah, Lester. It's like, I have a job for you. And so but you have to get another person to be there with you. You can't do it alone.
Gotcha.
That's like the whole point. But it's cool because what you can do is everyone on the heist will have a job out of the 4 people. So my job was to hack the computer on our way there.
How does it pick what job you're to do? Does it look at your abilities and like, or is it random?
The heist leader picks
the heist leader?
Yes. So the person, like, when you jump into a game, like a race, someone's hosting it. Like they got there first and they invite all their friends or whoever. That's the same thing in the heist. Like the heist leader's the one who starts it. And then they'll look at your skills and go, you should be shooting because you have the best, shooting stuff. You should be our driver. Your driving is awesome. There's other things they have you do too. Like I was hacking the computers to get the bank security to go down while we were on our way to the bank. So I had to use like this tablet feature, and all it was a stupid mini game where you have to just get this dot like to the end of the thing, and it would just keep moving, so you had to just turn it, otherwise it would crash into the wall. And yeah, so like Lester's there, like hurry up. I'm like, couldn't get it. But
I've encountered
mini games from the 80s.
Yeah,
I've encountered a mini game. There was a mini game where I had to hack into this security gate, and it was like all these letters that were going up and down like this, and then some of them were red, and you had to hit the button right when it was red, and it would save a letter for you, and then you had to hit another one and then save a letter for you until it came up with a password, and then it opened the gate.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's little mini games like that in there. I think that stuff makes it just more interesting and fun when they have stuff like that, a bunch of different things.
Yeah. I like that they took the prep from single player and put it in multiplayer. Like, you need a getaway car before you can do the heist. So there's like a period between the heist where everyone goes out and disperses and gets what they need. Like the guy who's shooting will go get his guns, and the guy who is the driver they'll go get the getaway car. And you have to,
that's nice.
You got to bring all the elements back to like the central location, and the heist begins.
I noticed I haven't seen any like chasing, and any of the chasing ones that I did, if I did one at all, I think I did one, it was really easy. It wasn't real hard. But I know like in GTA 4, I mean, almost every mission was a chase mission, and I'm just not super good at driving, and I guess that's the point, is they were trying to get you to drive better, but it was getting crazy. You couldn't go on to the next mission until you were done with it, so it was like I couldn't complete it. And I just kind of stuck there and just said, forget it. I'll just free roam for the rest of the game because I can't get through this mission. But I see less of that in GTA 5. Not a whole lot of in other words, what I mean is you chasing somebody else.
Yeah, I hate those missions.
Oh, because they're so hard.
They're in the single player version, but there's definitely not as many, for sure.
Yeah, and they seem to be a little bit more easier too. So take that for whatever it's worth. I know that in the online, the first mission or whatever, one of the missions on the online is to get the drugs from the guy that's delivering the drugs, and you can chase him around and stuff and try to. And I've killed him once and grabbed it, but I ended up dying from the police. But if you just wait, he'll go up to the top of the map, and he'll go to these houses out in the middle of nowhere, and he'll just drive back and forth. And once you get to the area, then that's when he drives out, and that's when you can get him. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to chase him, and they're not timed. Thank God for no timers, man.
You'll find some timed missions, but yeah, again, not as many.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, and I feel like I want to go back and play single player again, even though I went through the whole thing, and I did a lot of side missions as well. I didn't do all the side missions, and the single player game itself, the story is worth playing for sure. I keep saying for sure, but it's true. Like Grand Theft Auto has kind of gotten me off of my I've been on a big kick playing a lot of like building and crafting games, and it's kind of satisfying. I don't know, that urge, which is weird, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Some like an open world kind of game, I guess, and I get
where there's a lot of stuff going on.
There's stuff going on, and I get to customize things still with cars. There's still houses I can buy, and I don't know. It kind of like kicks that urge I've been having to like, be creative in an open world space. And Grand Theft Auto is kind of doing it now. For my YouTube channel, that kind of sucks because people are like, "Hey, play games like Rising World and Minecraft," and I'm like, "But Grand Theft Auto, yay!"
I know. Hey, I have to say those videos that you're making are awesome.
Oh, were you watching the stunt jump ones?
I watched every one of them. I was waiting for today's.
Yeah, I meant to edit today's, and I ended up working later than I thought I would. And now tomorrow's gonna be another late day too.
I love the very first one. That was my favorite because you start out. This is the new jump mobile, and it's this freaking ugly ass van. I'm going, what the hell? And then Mojo, she kind of plays into it. What is this? What is It was cool. You guys did pretty good.
Yeah, we had fun. That was her idea. I was thinking, we should record Grand Theft Auto. What should we do? I want to do something like creative. I don't want to just play the story. Like we should do some stunt jumps. And so we made another one, but it wasn't. I don't know. I feel like as we keep going through them, the humor isn't there as much. It's more or less just getting through the jumps because they get more challenging. Some of them,
right?
And it just becomes. We did a lot of goofing around at first, but now I kind of know what vehicle I need to complete the jump, and I don't want to make a bunch of videos where I don't complete the jump. So.
Yeah, like I don't think a bus is gonna work for you.
I don't know. You could try to like do the jump in the lowest common denominator car.
I'm in a minivan.
He used a bus once.
You're one of those little electric cars.
Oh, that would be I don't know. I might just
one you had to use Mojo's bike because you just couldn't do it without.
I might start changing the stunt jump vehicle in every video. Maybe that'll make it more interesting. Because I've been struggling. I'm like, how do I make this more interesting? Like we exhausted a lot of our funny energy like in the first episode, and I know comedy's subjective. Some people were like, I don't get it. What's going on? Are you doing stunt jumps or goofing around? Like, we're doing both.
A little bit of both.
So
we're trying.
Yeah, it was really cool. First few episodes were a lot of fun to make. The latest one was fun to make, but I noticed it definitely was not as like layered with moments of hilarity.
Yeah.
We just we're just ourselves and we're just dorks and we're just
until you find like
GTA.
Like a clown car, then that would be interesting.
There are some interesting vehicles, and I might try some more. Some of the ramps are really narrow, like that first one, and some of the other ramps are really wide, so you can use a bigger vehicle and try to get it. But most of the stunt jumps I've played so far are based on distance, and those heavy vehicles just cannot get to that marker.
Yeah.
But I'm running out of money too. I can't customize my vehicles enough to put turbos and engine upgrades in all of them. That's the biggest problem.
It's hard to get money. You have to definitely do missions.
Like
stuff.
When you want to buy something big, you start to see it can be kind of daunting. But I like that.
But you have to earn it. Exactly. Yeah. It's not something you can just
I don't really pre-order games, but GTA 5 towards the very end of the pre-order cycle, I pre-ordered it and I got like $1 million online that I could spend. So I bought like the nicest house you can buy, and I've managed to use the rest of the money to customize a fleet of cars. And now I'm almost out of money.
A fleet of
money
cars.
Well spent.
almost all 10 of, well, I don't have 10 cars, but my 10 car garage is almost full, and almost all of them are maxed out with like everything I can possibly fit inside.
I'm still trying to figure out how to get a second car. I guess you have to buy it, right?
Well, it depends on the size of your house and your garage.
I got a 6-car garage.
A 6-car. So what you can do is you can steal 6 cars if you want, and you can bring them all to the car customize guy. And all you need to do to make sure the car is yours is get the two little the tracker and something else on it.
Yeah, but
the insurance or something.
There are certain cars that you can't do that with.
Yeah,
I hate that.
I was looking at rare vehicles. I wanted to find something crazy that I could steal and keep. And someone showed a limo. And I couldn't find it where they said it was. Sometimes it's kind of a rare spawn, but Mojo found it. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. You should, that's rare. You should customize that and keep it. And she went to customize it. They won't take it. Oh, man. Like, what's the point of even showing off the rare cars if you can't keep them?
Yeah.
So it's kind of disappointing.
I think there's a way to get them, but like one, it said you have to purchase. Yeah, it says you cannot. This car is too hot. You have to purchase this car.
Yeah,
and then
I thought that was dumb for a while, but I realized that it's a good money sink because you can accumulate money like it's nobody's business. Once you have the nicest house, and like you can have up to 3 houses, and there's a lot of houses with 10-car garages. So like that's 30 cars you can have. Eventually, you're just gonna have a bunch of money if you keep playing. So they needed a money sink,
Yeah.
Well, let's make some of the nicest cars in the game only available,
only purchasable.
Yeah. You can steal them and drive them around all you want, but you can't keep them.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit more interesting too. I mean, you don't have guys, everybody on the server has the best car in the game, because anybody who's got that car earned it. You know what I mean? They had to have earned it somehow. Yeah. So it makes it a little bit more even.
Online, I only play on like the private server with friends now because it's just this unspoken rule. If you see someone, you have to either kill them or get killed.
Yeah, or you could put it on the passive mode. You just can't do any
passive mode. It's not fun.
Well, if you're going out, I think you can still steal a car. If I'm not mistaken, you just can't be hurt, or your car can't be hurt. It would be a great thing to use to get the cars you want,
Yeah.
But other than that,
one day I was playing on an online server, and there was this kid. I knew he was a kid because he has a mic on, and he was frustrated because, like, he was trying to catch me. I just knew it. I saw the little dot kind of chasing me all around the city. I was just free roaming, just BSing, and finally he catches up to me and tries to kill me. And I think what happened was he stepped out of his car and I just flattened him.
Right.
And I got a good laugh out of that, and I heard him start to bitch, and then I drove too far away to hear him. And then another time he tried to pull one over on me, and I could see what he was doing. He parked his car as I was driving down the street. I could see his little character running to just a place where you can kind of hide and get a sniper on me. And I just, as he was running, just flattened him again.
Serves him right.
He's like, damn it!
Yeah, it does. It gets into it. I mean, it's like that with any game. I mean, like when we play Rust or any of those games like that, where you're going to get on a server, there's a lot of people on there who just want to kill people just for no reason. They don't really want to play the game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's a random server finding too. You just kind of get thrown onto a random server. So you can't pick one that's like a nice community of people. You have to make friends and hang out with those people in one server. Have you noticed they have a solo session where you go in and it's just basically a solo session. There's no other players in there. But when you go into missions and things like that, you play with other players. Yeah. Yeah, there is that. But so you can do all the simian missions and stuff like that in solo mode, and all that stuff transfers over to an online mode. I mean, you're online, but it's solo, and then you can try. I'm sure all the stuff that you get and all that is still transferable. Well, yeah, of course. It's so they don't really care if you play by yourself and only race one friend, and they let you win over and over and over again, and you just keep making money. They have their money sinks, and the economy's not a big deal. There's no trading money between players, really. So they don't really give a crap about the economy or the rank, really. It's just there. And
it's pointless.
Yeah. Well, the rank is. I like the whole idea of the rank because it unlocks certain things. So
Um,
Car
It's
customizations
another-
and clothing, really.
yeah,
It locks all that down until you rank up.
yeah. Well, even some of the weapons and stuff you can't buy.
Oh, yeah, weapons too. Yeah. So all the little buyable things, yeah, you need to be rank whatever. I was talking to Weem about it, and he's like, I don't like that. I wish you could just buy things if you have the money to buy it. And I kind of agreed, but then the ranking system's even more pointless. It's like, what's the point of ranking up if you get no reward at all? So they had to do something.
EP points and bragging rights.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, there's a matchmaking system where it'll only put you in parties with people a similar rank, but the rank isn't based on skill, it's based on time played. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll rank up
Well,
faster if you're really good, but eventually, if you play enough, you'll get that rank up.
Yeah.
I think that is really great for people who are new, because then you're not playing against people who have obviously been around the block. But after a while, it doesn't matter anymore, because, like you said, rank does not equal skill. It equals time played.
Yeah. Well, I think we're about ready to wrap up the show here. Just some real life stuff, at least on my end. I've been crazy busy. I'm looking at moving again, and this next place I go, I'll be there for probably almost a year. We'll kind of see how it plays out. It could be like 7 or 8 months, could be a year. Once I'm all settled into the new place, I'm hoping to get back into doing more gaming with the community. We set up this awesome website, everythingnoob.com, the new everythingnoob.com, and like, we've been talking on there about playing other games on other consoles. I actually started a forum post where people can put their 3DS friend codes again. So people have been putting those in there. And I added, like, the last wave of people that did it, but I haven't been back there. I would love to start playing games, though, like that. Even if we can't stream them or record them, just playing games with the community. So if that's something you're interested in joining, I'm hoping soon to actually organize that. You don't need to wait for me, though. You don't need to wait for any of us. You can absolutely talk to other people in the community and play with them. Or one of us might be there and be like, hey, let's all play Mario Kart on the 3DS. Or let's all play GTA 5 and so on and so forth. So I even saw a GTA 5 discussion on the forums the other day. So pretty cool stuff. Check out everythingnoob.com. Always a lot going on there. You can make a profile, put a stupid avatar up there if you want, and hang out with the community. So
Yeah.
cool. Well, we will see you around. You can check us out on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, and wherever your favorite podcasting listening device is. And if there's one we've missed, shoot us a message on Twitter at everythingnoob and let us know, hey, you're not on this podcast player and I hate you for it. And we'll see what we can do. All right. We'll see you next time with another edition of the Everything Noob podcast.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of the Everything Noob podcast. Hit up everythingnoob.com for our show notes, blogs, YouTube and Twitch channels, previous episodes, and even a t-shirt store. Please game responsibly, and we'll see you next week.